Hello everybody, this is Plywood Cow coming at you with another world record speedrun. This time, Space Jam: A New Legacy, the game, played on Xbox Series X. Any % hard mode done in 17 minutes and 50 seconds. So, we are going to be seeing hard mode, and the way hard mode is harder is certain boss patterns change a bit, and enemy health values are increased, and some enemies have different behavior, so you have to adjust your strategy somewhat. Now, I will say that playing hard mode solo is more of a challenge than if you were to play it in co-op, but it's still manageable. Unlike in original mode, where the nulls can be taken out in a simple 4-hit combo, we either need to do a 2-hit into a 4-hit, or 4 hits into a jump kick. Now, if you can manage it, you can also use the ball to combo them as well. Using the ball to combo enemies is very effective as it increases your DPS. We will also be using the strength card throughout this run. Very useful as it increases our DPS, of course, our total damage. And since enemies have more HP, it's very beneficial to be able to use that throughout. So you want to plan out where you use your strength card to pace out when you want to use that upgrade on your damage. Some fights are more useful than others in terms of using that strength card. In addition, because you need to farm damage to get the strength card, you need to plan that out as well. Like other brawlers, we're trying to funnel enemies together if we need to. Now, if it's just one enemy, of course, there's no funneling required, no crowd control. But enemies tend to try to get onto your other side. My experience, sometimes being at the top and bottom of the screen can make the enemies a little dumb, and they don't actually approach you. But if all else fails, try to run away by double tapping run or double jumping. As much as possible, I try to run because running is faster than jumping. You're going to have to wait out that floaty jump. But sometimes the positioning of bugs is not ideal, so it's better to jump out of the way. Juggling is also a very effective strategy on hard because they have more HP, so sometimes it's just better to juggle, and it lets you get away from other enemies on the screen by juggling them in a separate direction. Gonna use the strength card for the Prime. The Prime is more dangerous on hard than on original difficulty. If they grab you, you can't AoE spin out of it to avoid taking its damage, so you were required to take that hit. The other thing about the Prime is when they do the charged punch attack, where they slide across the entire screen. On original difficulty, I believe you can interrupt it with the charged ball on the ground, but not so on hard. So you kind of need to avoid it and then try to loot them again. Now we're in the elevator. We're seeing our first set of barrels. Very nice. Just punch the barrels as they come onto screen to get this going as quickly as possible. And the Jadas have more HP, of course, so we have to do a bit of a different punch loop on these guys, these robots. And I try to just hold them in place as much as possible so that they all come together. Nice little trick here, using the AoE spin into the strength to take out the barrels and hit some of these Jadas out of the way. I believe that is the best way to approach that final set of Jadas. Though I will say that I'm sure there are improvements to be made about some of these fights. It's just the strategies I've come up with, so if you are interested in running this game, and remember this game is completely free on Xbox, so if you have an Xbox One or Xbox Series, you can play this game for free. Get some easy 1000 Gs for it, gamer score as well. I do recommend you trying to figure out your own strategies. So these are the frops, the frops, and they frop around, hop around. I think that's why they're called frops. If you do a jump kick or hit them while they're in air or slide kick, then they will be taken out in one hit. Here are the buckets. On hard mode, these enemies are really annoying because when they die, they explode. Now, on original difficulty, the explosion does not do damage, but on hard mode, it does. And the explosion radius is massive. Like, it is huge. Much bigger than you think, so you sometimes have to really clear out of the way. So thankfully, with the new strategy for the brow, we don't need to really worry about our HP going into the boss, but I still want to have some HP. I think I've tried both throwing the charge ball in the air on the left side and the right side. I've tried both approaches, and I think waiting on the right side is the best thing to do, at least on hard mode. Ultimately, taking out the bucket as soon as possible is going to make your life easier. The bombs they drop, it's just a menace in terms of trying to take out other enemies. And because their hitboxes are so weird, trying to chain hit them is a good idea. Sadly, I missed the ball on those frops, but that's okay. Small time loss. So you see me looping the bucket, hopefully not getting hit. Getting knocked down in this game is just a nasty waste of time. It really isn't like... It feels longer than it is, but also this game is quite short, so anytime you lose a couple of seconds, it's pretty bad. Okay, the brow. Anthony Davis. We're going to stand just below the brow and just single punch loop. It's a whole thing where the brow tries to instantly counterattack you, but he can't reach because you're just below him, so you end up just chaining the attacks together and he can't do anything about it. Really nice. I think throwing the ball to open is a good idea. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't tested it enough to see if that's reliable. Chaining those punches together is a lot easier on the boss rush mode because he drops into the fight, not in the cutscene, but literally in while you have control, so you can set yourself up very well. Shoutouts to the cheese cactus. Another little detail with the combat in this game is I believe that if you get hit while you're trying to do a hit, that's when you'll get knocked over. So if you just stand there, you're just going to stand in place. I think that's how that works. Now, if that's even really useful information, I'm not too sure because, you know, I don't want to like wait around and get hit, but it is something to keep in mind. We're at Bugs Bunny's palace in the dirt, and we're fighting our first jet. They shoot fire and bombs. This was a mistake. You don't want to throw a charge bomb at the jet here, but I wasn't really thinking very well. You want to just throw the ball in their face and then just do a typical punch combo to take them out. So here, use the strength card to spawn the third barrel in early, and then if you time your spin correctly, you'll hit this jet. Sadly, I messed that up. Not a huge deal, but it is cool when you get it because you spin the barrel and then immediately hit the jet. It's very effective. Another improvement you can do here is if you lose your ball before coming onto the screen, Tweety can actually drop the basketball on the mines, and then you don't have to worry about them, either by throwing the ball onto them or just running into the mines to clear them. Sadly, when an enemy goes on the mines, they don't care. This was also a mistake. You don't want to throw the ball at the Jada. It's sort of like a weird muscle memory thing, like, oh, I see a Jada, I need to throw the ball so they catch it and then combo them, but you don't want to do that. Accidentally missed the barrel here, and this is a little bit messy. Bad barrels. It's okay though. It's not a deal breaker, but this level was definitely one of the weaker ones in this run. Not exactly ideal, but the thing about this run is it's not just about your levels. It's also about the final boss and what the final boss decides to do. So, alright, we're coming into White Mamba, Diana Taurasi. Once again using the strength card to boost our strength. If you're at full HP, this is a very simple fight. Just spin to win. If you're not at full HP, I would suggest just throwing a charge ball at the start of the fight and then spinning. You can't spin immediately after spinning. You need to delay a little bit. There's some invincibility frames on White Mamba that you have to contend with. Shoutouts to Food Bones. Really nice grouping there. And if you're not sure whether you've successfully hit all the enemies, the best move is just to go for a jump kick at the end. That will typically finish enemies off unless they have more HP, like the Jadas. Sadly, I whiffed the ball there. I'm not sure if that is the best approach, but if you throw the ball at the one busting out of the rock and then just take out the one on the side, then you force the other two to start walking towards you. And again, that allows you to funnel. The more you can funnel, the better. Some more sarcophaguses, or sarcophagi. Easy fight here with 3 nulls. Kind of surprising that they give you a fight like this, because this level is such a huge gauntlet. And now we're going to use the strength card to clear the next 2 waves. We have a quad Jada here. So this is a part where if you're down below, it tends to be that the other set of Jada will go above and ignore you. That was not the cleanest fight. Could be better. This room is so awkward. What you want to try and do is get on top of the pillar, the right pillar, and throw it downwards to take out the mines, because having the mines here is just a huge problem. But if this does happen, you just need to make the adjustment, because whenever the jet comes, we really want to try to address them first. Alright, now we're coming into the tubes. So this one, you need to be careful about these frops. They will ruin you, so my suggestion is to hit the nulls for a little bit and then switch to kicking the frops, because what can easily happen is you just start getting chained by the hops, and it's not pretty. You lose a lot of HP here if you're not careful. Get some flan, and we'll do the elevator here. Accidentally was too close to the vending machine. You don't want to be that close to the vending machine, or else you'll bust it early, and you really want to save the vending machine for the second wave here. But it's not a huge deal. Part of the problem with hard is health management. You know, it is a good idea to use the spin attack, particularly here. not quite the lineup for those turrets. So health management with the AoE spins and picking up food along the way is pretty key, especially since we're not using the health card that gives us a bunch of food. Oh, here we go. Style points. Try to get this bucket. Very nice. I'm not sure if single punches or double punches is faster. I've not exactly timed it. Could be just a feel thing. So this is the worst fight in the game. The worst minion fight, other than the last one, I would say, because we need to try to get these two together. Fortunately, I screwed up my juggle there, but it's okay. I've had way worse. We're coming into the final boss with full health, so this should be fine, but ideally you don't come in here with only 1 life. If you come into this fight with 1 life and you're low and you're just starting out, I would suggest just taking a death here, because going through this whole fight and then dying at the end is really painful. So this is the fight that really makes or breaks your run. This is what we want to see. We want to see the fist stomp, the fist slam quickly, because then we get through phase 1 quickly. Algae can just decide to attack over and over again and basically just ruin your run. Stand to the left of the question mark so you can hit the tube ASAP. Very small optimization. And if you come into this fight with a strength card already full, then you can do 2 strengths during this. So that was really good RNG for phase 2. This is what I mean earlier when I was having a sloppy Looney Tunes level, however you want to refer to it, with Diana. The RNG at the end is way more important than some of the little details throughout the run. Try to get a charged ball on the hand swipe and then do a jump kick. That's how you maximize your damage there. And these, you do 4, and then the 5th one's the last one. So this was pretty dang good luck. Can't ask for much more, honestly. The AoE spin, very effective opener there, because if you don't get that side that you start off on the right side away, it just becomes a hot mess. And throw one more time, and that's game. Really good run. Obviously there's some improvements to be made throughout the levels, but the final boss was great luck. Helps a lot. But if you had this with some better play throughout, I think you could probably cut another 30 seconds from this run, at least. 1750, hard mode. Beautiful. This was the 3rd improvement on the world record that I made. I got an 1851, an 1821, and then a 1750. My goal was sub 18, so we got it, and here it is. Shoutouts to PoloKing, who had a tough run to beat, honestly. I had to actually think about how I could improve the run and also think pretty seriously about if I could try and break the game further, which I did, thankfully, with the first boss. So it was not an easy run to beat. So well done to PoloKing on that. And I hope for someone out there, they're inspired, because this is a fun little game. It's pretty quick to run. Yeah, the RNG can be a bit brutal with the end game, but it's still quite enjoyable to play. It feels good. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time on the next run. Take care.